Imagine waking up one morning, opening Twitter, and instead of the usual top G quotes about hustle and masculinity, seeing Andrew Tate being escorted out of his Romanian mansion by armed police while the world screams, "What just happened?" This is exactly the moment the internet cracked in half. One side yelled, "The Matrix is attacking the top G." The other side said, "Finally justice." And the rest of us were just trying to figure out why a multimillionaire surrounded by supercars was suddenly in handcuffs. But here's the big question, the one the memes avoid. Was Andrew Tate running a human trafficking empire, or did he just end up in the world's loudest legal storm? Let's break down everything. Who Andrew Tate really is. Andrew Tate is the kind of person who could sneeze and somehow trend on 5 platforms at once. He's a former world champion kickboxer, turned viral influencer, turned walking quote machine. His rise to fame was built on an intoxicating mixture of mansions, supercars, motivational screaming, and the kind of controversial statements that make teachers, parents, and entire governments sigh deeply. To some people, Tate is a brutally honest mentor who tells men the truth. To others, he's the final boss of online toxicity. But love him or hate him, his digital footprint is gigantic. And ironically, those very statements that made him famous also ended up being used against him later, with prosecutors claiming that his over-the-top speeches weren't just rants. They were insight into criminal behavior. Tate's lawyers, on the other hand, argue he was simply playing a character, sort of like a WWE villain, but with more sunglasses. Why Romania? The land of opportunity, freedom, and fewer rules, allegedly. Tate moved to Romania years before his arrest, and he was very open, almost suspiciously open, about why. He claimed he liked the country's culture, the freedom, and the less aggressive policing. He even joked in interviews that Romania was a place where you're treated like a man. This is where he built his empire. Content studios, webcam businesses, online subscription platforms, mentoring courses, and an entire digital university promising financial freedom. His supporters call him a genius entrepreneur. His critics say this move wasn't a coincidence, it was strategic. Romanian prosecutors? They think it was the perfect place for what they allege was happening behind the scenes. The first spark, an embassy call that changed everything. Things got serious in April 2022. The U.S. Embassy in Bucharest contacted Romanian authorities because an American woman claimed she was being held at a property linked to Tate. Naturally, that grabbed attention faster than a Bugatti engine rev. Police carried out a raid, found multiple women, questioned the Tates, and opened an official investigation. At this point, there were no handcuffs, no viral videos, and no Matrix speeches. Just a quiet investigation simmering in the background, like the early episodes of a crime series before the plot twist hits. The big raid, December 29th, 2022. This is the day everything changed. Romanian police raided Tate's luxury house with full tactical forces. Andrew and Tristan Tate, along with 2 Romanian women, were arrested on suspicion of human trafficking, rape, and forming an organized crime group. Now, here's the part the internet twisted into comedy: the pizza box myth. People online swore that Tate got caught because he flashed a Romanian pizza box in a video responding to Greta Thunberg. Romanian officials later explained, in probably the most exhausted tone ever, that this was not true. They didn't need a pizza box to track one of the most recognizable men on the planet. But of course, the meme survived, because the internet never lets facts get in the way of a good joke. What prosecutors claim. According to Romanian prosecutors, the Tate brothers weren't just influencers. They were allegedly running a sophisticated operation. The prosecution describes a system where women were promised romance, wealth, relationships, and a glamorous life. This tactic is known as the lover boy method, and prosecutors claim it was used to lure women to Romania. Once there, investigators allege the women were pressured, mentally, emotionally, or by manipulation, into creating explicit content. That content was then monetized through online platforms. Prosecutors say the women were controlled, monitored, or restricted in various ways, contributing to an environment that they classify as exploitation. Tate completely denies this. He says the women were living freely, working willingly, and that he never forced anyone to do anything. He calls the allegations absurd and manufactured by haters. The legal system, however, continues investigating every detail, from the villa to the cell, detention, extensions, and legal back and forth. After the dramatic arrest, the Tate brothers were placed in pretrial detention. Romanian courts repeatedly extended their jail time, saying they were flight risks and could influence witnesses. They ended up locked up for about 3 months. In March 2023, they were moved to house arrest. For some people, this sounds like freedom. But when you're used to flying private jets and living the top G jet set lifestyle, being stuck inside one mansion must feel like being grounded by the world's strictest parents. After multiple appeals, Tate eventually got downgraded to judicial control, which is like freedom with a leash. He could go outside, but not too far, definitely not to Dubai, and not without filling out enough paperwork to kill the vibe. The case grows. Just when it seemed the situation couldn't get more complicated, it did. Romanian authorities expanded the investigation into allegations involving minors, financial crimes, and possible intimidation of witnesses. In August 2025, the brothers were detained again for questioning in this newer investigation. Tate immediately took to social media, of course, to say it was harassment. Investigators insisted it was necessary. The public simply added more popcorn to the microwave. Meanwhile, in the UK, a whole new legal chapter. The United Kingdom also got involved. British prosecutors brought charges against both brothers, including rape, human trafficking, and controlling prostitution for gain. These charges relate to alleged events in the UK, not Romania. However, Romania's legal process takes priority. This means the UK must wait for the Romanian court to finish its work before extradition can happen. Once again, Tate found himself in the world's least desirable VIP queue. The USA starts asking questions too. In early 2025, Tate was allowed to travel to the US temporarily for approved reasons. US authorities took this opportunity to look into the Romanian allegations as well. There was even a minor political scandal when rumors surfaced that US officials once helped fast-track the return of Tate's devices during airport screenings. So yes, this case is international, dramatic, and chaotic in ways only modern digital celebrity scandals can be. Tate's defense. Tate insists he is innocent. He says every allegation is either exaggerated, fabricated, or motivated by money. He argues that the entire case is a politically charged attack meant to silence him. His supporters believe he's being targeted for being outspoken. His critics argue he created this situation through his own actions. The courts, meanwhile, rely on evidence, not memes. Where everything stands now. As of 2025, Andrew Tate has not been convicted. The cases are ongoing in Romania. The UK is waiting its turn, and the US continues to examine related issues. Evidence hearings, appeals, and procedural delays have kept the Romanian case from reaching a final verdict. One thing is certain, this is one of the most complicated influencer-related legal sagas the world has ever seen. It's messy, global, and evolving. What's the truth? So is Andrew Tate a dangerous trafficker or a controversial entertainer caught in a legal hurricane? Only the courts can decide. What we do know is that the allegations are serious, the investigations are real, and the public debate is louder than a Bugatti engine in a closed garage. Whatever the final verdict turns out to be, one thing is guaranteed. The world will be watching every second of it. And that brings us to the end of one of the wildest, most dramatic, and most confusing influencer sagas of our time. If you enjoyed this deep dive, hit that like and subscribe to the channel so you never miss a new upload. Thanks for watching, stay sharp, stay curious, and I'll see you in the next video.